Welcome to day 3 of our Ritualize Your Life challenge in 36 days, 36 steps. I'm Sharada Devi, your ceremonialist and guide for these next days, maybe weeks, months, years to come. Let's see. Some of us have been on this journey of life for many moons. So nice to be here again with you. We've been given one more day, and here we are. Who is here? Hello Katrin, hello Theo, hello Hera, Enoja. Some new people are joining. Please say hello. Let me know where you are from, where are you tuning in from, what brought you here. And those that have been practicing, I saw some of your comments. Some of you have been doing the 108 repetition of the mantra that we learned yesterday. Yoga kshema iti prana panayoho. So I love to hear from you. Where are you from? What brought you here? Those that are new, if some of you are joining for the first time, and I see many of you have been here now with me already for the last few days. Ulrika, Katarina, Isha is here again. So wonderful. From Sweden again, you're back, Andri. Desde Venezuela. Quiero renovar mi propósito vital. Catarina's from Ericeira. We're same here in Portugal. And I get really challenged at the moment because it's so windy. And I love my golden womb here, the yurt. It's a dream come true. It's so beautiful. But it's very windy. And so it's like moving and the sound is strong. So feeling all of this. Erin, hello Erin, love from Seattle. Wilma is from Finland. So nice, welcome. There is Surya. There is Rebecca, hello Martina, so sweet. And let me know, did you practice and how was it to wake up this morning with the 2 steps? Anandoham, the first one at the moment before we wake up, and the second step is the awareness of our breath, the vital force. And could you feel or notice any change, any difference in incorporating these new habits into your life? Alexandra is from France, welcome. Hello Erle, welcome back. Jagadish, welcome. Arioni, so sweet. Let's take a breath. Philippa, welcome. So, I wait for your sharings without waiting. In the meantime, if some of you are writing, I will say the prayer to Ganesha, that which removes obstacle, and to Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and words, and in this way invoking my sampradaya, my lineage, the grace of my teachers, the grace of my mentors and friends and family and community, because of which I am here. We all require support in life, and I have received a lot of support in my life, and that is why I can support so many people today. So, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatye Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatye Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, valoro más mi oportunidad de vida hoy gracias a la respiración. I value more the opportunity of life, and I give thanks to my breath. And that's why we're ritualizing our life, to come to that sense and attitude of gratitude. The true attitude of gratitude, not the forced one. And Theo says, I woke up in the middle of the night as well, not knowing what time it was, so I got to do the prayers twice. A very peaceful way to begin. Norika says, I did 108 times yesterday, but forgot in the morning. Yes, because the morning it goes quick. We're like, wake up and then we go into whatever we've been doing. And that's okay. Yeah. Katarina says, these 2 days I feel more peace. I want to share something. I realized that a few years ago I could accept, embrace that my life is a ritual. And now I can do it. I believe, I feel. I believe, I feel. I realized that a few years ago I could accept, or I could not accept maybe, or embrace that my life is a ritual. I think that's what you maybe mean. And now you think you can do it, you believe it, in it. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Beautiful. Welcome, Angelina. I couldn't accept or embrace that my life is a ritual. Okay, yeah. Ulrika says, I've forgotten the pronunciation. Okay, that's fine. So if you forget the pronunciation, then you can say it in English, right? Or in Swedish. Ulrika is from Sweden. So then you say it in your mother tongue. Like what was most connection. Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha. Most important to remember the meaning. Not so much the Sanskrit, not even the gesture, like the meaning. That's most important. So Anandoham, fullness I am. Yeah. Remembering my essential, like that I exist, acknowledging my existence. That's the first step. Second step, acknowledging that I can breathe. I am alive. And our journey, our pilgrimage, our yatra means a pilgrimage, of this human incarnation is to discover that I am a limitless being. It is not new to you that you exist. It's not new to me that I exist. You know that you exist. Even though maybe in a midlife crisis we doubt our existence, but you know that you exist. But what you don't know is that you are limitless, whole and complete. That is what is unknown to us. And that is why we are suffering. So we get to remember that. When we remember this, the vision, like why we're doing what we're doing. Because if we don't remember what is the core of what we do, the core or the reason for why we do something, it's very easy then to also get lost in the doing, in the action. And suddenly the action, the tool or the means becomes the destiny. But we're using the tool and the means to get to the destiny, so that when I am at the destiny, I can let go of the tool. So we remember, like, that is why we're ritualizing our life, to get out from competition, to become a contributor, one that has a deep sense of belonging, a deep sense I'm taken care of by the universe. And we wake up honoring our existence. I exist. I cannot take my existence for granted. I breathe. Breath is given. Life is given. All is given. So, you're saying, Erin is saying, so grateful for the rhythm and structure of the prayers. I can feel the mantra realigning me, reminding me, like tuning an instrument. Exactly. We're tuning our instrument, yes. Here the instrument is this beautiful body, mind, sense temple. We call Upadhi. I am moving through big changes, and this is a gift, a guide. Yes, I know many of us are moving through big changes. We have entered Saturn return, and so Saturn is all about re-evaluating our decisions, our life. Alignment. It's a time for discipline, a time for routine, a time to go inward. Kate says, I downloaded the booklet and audio from the course. Yes, amazing. There is a booklet. Thank you. It really helped me to have it by the bed. I did 108 times with Mala. Beautiful. Then repeated a few silently in my head in Sanskrit and English. Yeah. Celebration. Welcome, Anna. Kate is saying, my husband not doing this. He kindly brought me tea in bed and had his coffee downstairs. So weird. So that's really great. Like you can ask your surrounding, your partner, your children to support you. You can let them know that that you're doing this sadhana, this spiritual practice, and you can ask them for support. Because what often happens, so as a Saturn return is all about practicing patience. And so the internet connection is sometimes, we're losing each other sometimes. So then we practice patience. And there's a mantra for patience. That's actually at the end of the booklet. I have a booklet. It's called the 36 Steps Towards Ritualizing Your Life. And it's in one of my courses, The Living Goddess. If you join the Devī Temple, you get all of that included. And so there, the mantra for patience, I share it to you right now because I think that's what the universe is asking from us, from me, patience. There's a lot of wind, internet connection is failing us sometimes. So the mantra for patience is Om, you can say, Om Bhumi, Bhumi, Devyai, Devyai, Namaha, Namaha. Simple, but deep. And with the melody, with the meter, Om Bhumi Devyai, Namaha, Om Bhumi Devyai, Namaha, Om Bhumi Devyai, Namaha. 2 more times. For patience. Let's invoke lots and lots of patience. Om Bhumi Devyai, Namaha. Om Bhumi Devyai, Namaha. When things do not go the way we want them, there's a reason. Right? The universe asking to invoke patience. Be patient. It will come in sacred timing. So you can ask your family around to support you instead of like demanding. We're also a demanding society. So often I've seen that people start to do yoga, start to do tantra, start to do all these kind of tools and practices, and then they go home and impose something on their family, on their husband, wife, and children, and then they get angry that the people around are not joining them, and suddenly what can happen is that we start to develop a certain attitude, like now I am doing this practice and you're not doing this practice, and there can be a little bit of a judgment there, and that's very, very hurtful, very hurtful. So in that situation, we, instead of demanding like our surrounding to join us or to understand us, to be accommodating, we can ask, like we can invoke without choking, my teacher would say, like invoke without choking anyone. You invoke, you ask for it, we're ready for the no, because it can also trigger them, like it can deeply trigger them, you suddenly doing these gestures or doing these mudras. They maybe feel awkward, and in our society we're not used to doing these kind of things. Suddenly they're afraid that you joined a cult or a sect. So we get to have accommodation. That's one of the many values. It's called kshantihi. It's the value of accommodation, to accommodate, to give space for everyone to be exactly as they are. Everyone has a background for their behavior. Everyone does the best they can do at every given moment. Everyone feels exactly what they're supposed to feel based on their background. Like me, like you, like the neighbor. Everyone does the best they can. If I would be them, if I would have had their parents, their background, I would feel the same. And so this is a value that has to be very, very deeply assimilated, especially when we are entering this sadhana. So we drop our agendas for other people to be different than what they are. They have a background, we give them space. I give myself space, and I can share with them. Like, instead of demanding them to be a certain way, I can share, like, in vulnerable way. I'm doing this, I made a commitment, I ask for your support. Right? Because we require support. There's hundreds of reasons why suddenly we cannot do what we want to do. And so when we ask them for support, they feel inspired and they feel you're including them. Often what the family members are also afraid of, that you're going to change, that then they will lose you, you will exclude them, and that's very hurtful. And so of course, if those fears are there, then that's for them to also process, and it is an opportunity for them to grow as well. Right? We're not responsible for their happiness, but also depends if it's the husband, the children. So with every family member, we get to address the situation differently. So basically, we are now learning the step 3 today, and which is dedicated to action. Yeah. Just Kate is saying, yes, I actually had really intense dreams and felt very emotional this morning. Yeah. So it's also natural and a good sign that things are moving and stirring in your heart. The classes I'm sharing with you, they're very, very deep. They move. There's a story, it's called the story of the churning of the ocean, the Milky Ocean. It's a very beautiful story. I teach this story this Thursday in my Bhagavad Gita class. It's part of the Devī Temple. It's my membership program. And the story talks about how that elixir, this amrtatvam, the elixir of deathlessness, is lying at the bottom of the ocean. Like this soma, this elixir, and how everyone wants it. And people fight for it. People, and not only the people, but all beings are wanting that amrta, this elixir that lies at the bottom of the ocean. And so everyone is trying to get there. And a lot of things happen in the process of getting this amrta. And so a lot of things that are happening in this story that I'll share on Thursday for my community, those things that are happening, just to give you a little hint, is when we are listening to these teachings and doing the rituals and ritualizing our life, things are happening means things are coming up from the bottom of the ocean, means from the unconscious. So things that we have been in denial, things that we've been running away from, things that we have been, that we didn't even know that they are there, they can suddenly surface. And so also the dream, right now during Saturn return, we can also pay attention, because there's a lot of dreams that we can process and actually heal in the dreams. Things can come up in the dreams. So we then take some extra time to welcome the emotions. And part of the steps of ritualizing your life is also then to bring the dreams to the altar and process them and offer them back. So that's already coming up for some of you. Sarah says, my daughter was singing with me. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yes, invite your family. Like maybe they want to join you. The children, they love it. If you can share this with your children, wow. Like, it's the greatest gift. You're introducing them to a healthy way of living, to a conscious way of living. You're teaching them how to ritualize their life. So you can already, if they're open for it, you can share these steps with your children. And they can start to incorporate that into your life. Is the greatest blessing. Andritsky says, so grateful for this, struggling to get routine and so on to follow this through all these days. My pleasure. Yes. And be gentle, like see if you can follow. And if you cannot follow every day, these recordings are available for you. They will be on my feed. Yeah. Great. So Isha, I think I'm back. Nobody else said that they cannot hear me. Kate says, yes, and ultimately the benefits of our practice will benefit our surroundings. Exactly. They don't need to do the same practices. Very important. So beautiful. Welcome everyone that's been joining here. Warm welcome. So, step 3 of ritualizing our life is dedicated to actions. Karma. So, I'm going to share with you the slide. No, wrong one. Just different action. So, the step 3 is dedicated to actions, karma. So, after acknowledging our existence, the existence that is full, anandoham, then the awareness, becoming aware of the breath, the vital force. I can breathe. Inhaling, I receive. Inhaling, I am protected. Exhaling, I am protected. Inhaling, I receive. Exhaling, I'm protected. Yoga kshema iti pranapana yoho. And then you look at your palm. You can take your palm, looking at the palm of your hand, and we sanctify all actions of the day. That's the third step. So you take a moment and just look at the hand and connect to the hand. And it is through the hands that we are doing our actions, isn't it? There are also other organs of actions. We have pancha karmendriya. Pancha means 5. Karmendriya, karma indriya. Indriya means the sense organs. And karma means action. So karmendriya, pancha karmendriya. We have 5 organs of action. And one of them are the hands. So we are using our hands to do something, to engage, to grasp. And as we have seen in our first classes, sessions, we are raised to grasp. We are raised to get. What can I get? And in the Vedic culture, we are being raised or re-educated, reminded that we are here to give back. To give back. And so you want to also practice actually throughout the day to really open your hands. Like I notice a lot myself was during hand that the hands like holding on to something, and it happens unconsciously. And then I pay attention, I'm holding unconsciously. I can relax. Like throughout the day, notice your hands. How are your hands throughout the day? Are they like this? Are they like this? So we wanna give. That's our attitude, becoming a contributor. How can I give back? In order to be able to really give, I have to have a sense of fullness. I have to know that I am full, that I have enough, that I am enough, that I am wealthier than the wealthiest, that I'm richer than the richest. Otherwise, the giving, it will always have a hook. I give you, and then I want something back from you. Yet the universe, the Veda tells us, right, you give knowing that there will be a result, something will come back, and what will come back is exactly what is needed from me, not more, not less. So I am not in control of the result of my actions. I'm only in control of my actions. There's a difference. I am only in control of my actions. I can do, I need not do, I can do it differently. You, me, we all have this power to do. It's called Kriya Shakti. We can do, we need not do, we can do differently. But the result is given. By whom? It's not a human being. It's not a fellow with a long beard sitting in the sky and decides, you were a good girl, and I'm going to give you lots and lots of chocolates. And you were a bad boy, and you're not going to get anything. No, there's no being like many of us were introduced in a religion, that there is a being that is judgmental and decides. No. In the Vedic tradition, the Vedic knowledge, Veda, says that we get based on the karmic law, the law of karma. So when we do a karma, when we do an action, it's called a karma, there will be a result, it's called a phala, a karma phala. And the phala, the fruit, also phala means also fruit, here it means also result, the fruit is according to the law. And the law is unseen. It's unseen, but known to all of us, actually. It's actually known to all of us. It's not like a law that is written by this government and that government. No, it's the universal law, and this law applies to all beings at all times. It's called dharma also. So this law applies to all beings at all times, and this law is based on so many factors, unseen factors. And all beings are included in this karmic law. All beings. And so there is a trust there. Again, I talked about it yesterday, a shraddha, trust that the universe knows best, because the universe has the good of all beings in their heart, in its being. Why? Because the universe does not see any other being as different from itself. So if the universe doesn't see any being as different from itself, it sees every being as itself. And so the universe sees everything as itself, so it wants. And the universe, like I say now the universe, but we would say like the God, the goddess. But we can also say the universe if you have a problem with the word. Or Saraswati, or Rama, or Buddha. Right? That which knows its nature, that which knows itself, that which knows that it's whole and complete. And so I call it the universe now, or the goddess, the God, that being that knows that it's complete. That being, we say, has all knowledge, is sarvajnaha, all knowledge. That being is sarva shaktiman, has all power. Sarva shaktiman has all knowledge, has all power. All knowledge, all power. I do not have all knowledge. I do not have all power. I have little knowledge. I have little power. The universe, right? Because the universe is what? The universe is all, is everything, all beings, all gender, all ages, all colors, all races, all stones, all animals, all minerals, all atoms, everything is included in the universe. The Jagat. In Sanskrit, the universe we call Jagat. Jagat, the Jagat. And so we say that that Jagat, that universe, is not just a universe, it's not a dead being. Is it? The universe is a being. It's a living, breathing, existent being. It's not a being that we can just plunder and take, and it's not a dead being, the universe. The universe is the Jagat, the universe is the God, the universe is the goddess. This is how the goddess, this is how the God is, in the form of the whole universe. And so if we think that the whole universe is like one being, that everything and everyone is included, all names, all forms, all functions, this whole being, and it does not see itself as different from all other beings. There are no really other beings. Only I, as the individual, as the human, I take myself as different from you. Because I don't know what my existence is. I don't know who I am, what I am. I don't know. I wake up, right? I wake up and all my problems, I need to make this, and my children, and my bank loan, and my father and my mother. But the universe knows what it is. And so it has its intention, its wish is for all beings to be well. Its wish is for all beings to know that they are actually whole and complete and loved. And so the karma, the law of karma, right, it is based on so many factors, on so much karma, countless karma. Right? It's your karma and your mother's karma and your children's karma and your husband's karma and your auntie's karma, your ancestor karma. They're all connected. And so when we understand that, when we have trust in that, then we know that what I am given by the universe, it is according to this law of karma that involves so many karmas from all my ancestors, and it's given by the universe to me. And so we call this attitude Prasāda Buddhi. Buddhi means an attitude in this context. Prasāda, it's very well received. I receive it with an attitude of gratitude. When you go to a temple in India and you do a puja there, or a homa, or a ritual, after the ritual you get prasad. Prasad. You get a little offering after. And sometimes you get rice, sometimes you get a raisin, sometimes you get a rasagula, some sweets, sometimes you get a flower, sometimes you get some kumkum, a red dot. And in the temple, when you go there and you receive your prasad, which is given to you by the priest or by the helpers of the temple, we don't say like, oh no, I don't want this. It's whatever I'm given in the temple, I receive it with gratitude. We're practicing that there in the temple, to receive whatever is given with gratitude. Right? And so that result that is given to me, it might be exactly what I want. It might be the opposite of what I want. It might be more than what I want. It might be less than what I want. The result is exactly what I want, the opposite of what I want. It can be more, it can be less. It's something within this options. And I know, as a sadhaka, one that is dedicated to a spiritual life, that whatever is given, it is exactly meant for me. And it is exactly what I need in order to grow. It is exactly what I need in order to grow. Grow how? Grow emotionally. Grow emotionally, grow spiritually. You cannot grow spiritually without growing emotionally. They go hand in hand. Often there's different spiritual schools. They try to bypass the emotions, bypass the heart, bypass the experience, bypass the mother and the father. You cannot bypass the heart. We get to process our emotions, our heart. Through that we grow. So the whole yoga lifestyle, the whole attitude of yoga, of karma yoga, is this attitude of glad acceptance. I accept what is given by the universe to me, even if it is painful as hell. Because we have no problem when the result is given and it's pleasurable. Right? Oh, we love pleasure. Honestly, for some time in my life, I was not able to receive pleasure because at the beginning, I knew that the pleasure is going to change already. So I couldn't enjoy it. I knew that this pleasure anyway will go, so why would I even enjoy this pleasure? Number one, often many spiritual seekers have this dilemma. And then number two, the other reason why I was also not able to really enjoy pleasure, because I felt guilt. There was some guilt and shame, a lot, guilt and shame related to pleasure because of SEX, the word I cannot say here, otherwise I'm going to get banned, shaming. So, like, for some of us, it's very easy to receive pleasurable results. For some of us, it isn't. But usually, in general, we're more okay with the pleasurable result. So meaning when the things go the way I want them, we're all yogis, we're all free, we're all enlightened. But what is when things do not go the way we want them? How mature am I then? How enlightened am I then? And so for the karma yogi or the sadhaka, the spiritual practitioner or seeker, the true seeker, even if it is painful as hell, like, okay, this is given by the universe. It means I need to process. This is my pain. It's not really my pain, right? It's not my pain. But right now, it is the pain that is given in reality, the pain is not really given. The pain is being revealed through the situation that I'm facing right now. So from one aspect, the pain is given, but not from the person or the thing outside of yourself that seems to have caused you pain, like your husband that cheated on you, or your child that doesn't do what you want them to do. It seems like they're causing you this pain, but they're not. That situation is revealing what is already here in your heart, the pain that always has been here. Like the story I told you with my husband when I got divorced. It was in my recent life. I was talking about that divorce and how it revealed this excruciating pain. I was at my knees. Right? I wanted to commit suicide because it hurt so much, and the feeling is like I cannot bear this pain. I cannot bear this shame. I cannot bear my own child. I was thinking she's gonna die, but I'm not dying. Like, an emotion cannot kill you. An emotion needs to be felt. It needs to be processed. It needs to be held. It needs to be understood. So we're going to go more into that later in the next steps, in the further steps that are going to come, because there we ritualize more these emotions and pain when it comes up. Because here we're actually at step 3. So when we wake up in the morning, we are making this intention so that I am able to have and apply this attitude throughout my day. So when I'm waking up, anandoham, yogakshema iti pranapana yoho, and then I look at my pal and I sanctify all my actions of the day. So sanctifying the actions of my day means whatever I do, the action I am going to do, it is an offering. It's called in Sanskrit Ishvara Ārpana Buddhi, the attitude Buddhi of Ishvara Ārpana. Ārpana means an offering to Ishvara, to God, to the universe. May all my actions be an offering, may be a gift, may be a contribution. Like, so here you're asking to be a contributor and not a competitor, at least not an unhealthy competitor. Like Buddha Swamiji would say, like, some healthy sense of competition is good for our healthy ego, but not the unhealthy competition where I'm going to go against you and I have to prove to you what you cannot do, and right? So here we're asking the universe, may my actions be a contribution, may my actions be for the good of all beings. And when I say this prayer, it also helps me to neutralize any fear, any doubts, and especially guilt. Because what is the result of actions that are hurtful? Guilt. But sometimes you do action and you do not, hopefully not sometimes, all the time, practicing at least, like to do actions that do not have the intent of hurting others. But then sometimes it happens, you're doing an action and people still get hurt. And then we feel guilty. Then we're doubting ourselves. But with this, I have no intention to hurt anyone. All I want to do is give back and share. So there's some question here. Thank you for these beautiful words and the gratitude that is coming from you. That means so much to me. Ishvara Ārpana, not Ardhana, Ārpana. Ishvara Ārpana Buddhi. Yeah. So that is the attitude of offering. May I be a contributor. And then the other side is the attitude of receiving. That is called Ishvara Prasāda Buddhi. So Buddhi, the attitude of Ishvara, that God is giving me, is gifting me. Ishvara Prasāda Buddhi. Those are the two attitudes. Ishvara Ārpana Buddhi, the attitude of this is my offering to you, O universe. Universe, however you appear, in the form of my mom, in the form of my dad, in the form of my husband, in the form of my wife, in the form of my child, in the form of my student, in the form of the computer. This is how Goddess is, in the form of your life. May my action be an offering to you in whatever form you appear in front of me. And Ishvara Prasāda Buddhi, Buddhi, the attitude of prasadam, this result that is given to me, pleasant or unpleasant, it is coming from Ishvara, coming from God, Goddess, from the universe. Knowing that God, Goddess is not a being that hates itself and sees itself separate from the whole. God, Goddess, the universe, is a being that sees itself as whole and complete and sees everyone and everything as itself. The being that has all knowledge and all power and knows that all beings really all want to be happy, to be free. And so the karma is distributed according to everyone's likes and dislikes, actually, and according to their action. And so, Ishvara Ārpana Buddhi, Ishvara Prasāda Buddhi. So what do we know? We know that an action, when the action goes within universal value, which we call dharmaha, then the result will be pleasant. Will at least be, we call it punya karma. We are accumulating spiritual wealth. So dharma is very, very important to understand as a spiritual seeker, as a sadhaka. As a spiritual seeker for any person, we all need to understand the value of universal values, without which we can never find really happiness in life. And so universal values are known to all of us, but we have lost the value of the values. So I'm not going to speak now so much more about dharma, because that's a very big topic, but dharma, like universal values, values that are applicable to all beings at all times, like the value of ahimsa. No one wants to get hurt. All beings go and run away from hurt. And so if you want to really deeply study the value, I have a beautiful course, it's called The Value of Values. It's 20 classes, and I unfold each value at a time, chant it, give a guided meditation. You can get it self-paced on Devī School in my store, or if you join the Devī Temple, my membership, it's included. And the Devī Temple, actually, for any programs that you join, if it's the Nectar of You in Portugal, if it's the Priestess in Bali in March, if it's the Diamond, my mastermind, Mistress Mind mentorship coaching program, mentorship program, all my programs always have the Devī Temple included. So you always have the 700 hours of recordings and material and PDFs and manuals, plus live classes every Thursday, plus sharing circles and temple embodiment experiences. So the value is what we call dharma, and so the result is given according to dharma. So the result, if I do an action that goes within universal value, I accumulate spiritual wealth that is pleasurable and helps me to grow, and everyone else as well. If I do karma that hurts me or other beings, that goes against universal values, I accumulate papa karma. Papa karma means karma that will hurt me and others. That's the law, the unseen law of karma. Whatever I do it to myself. It will come back. No one can get away from this law of karma. Not even Trump. Like, no one can get away. We may not always see it fructifying, right? We don't always see the justice immediately taking place. It may take a life, it may take 10 lives. But if we go against karma, against dharma, the law will, the unseen law, it will take care. Dharma will always win. It will always win. Because truth is truth. Like, truth will always win. It's like lies will always come out at the end. At last at the deathbed. You see that with our parents or families, like the secrets that nobody knew about my grandfather, the family, like at the deathbed, everything comes out. So we cannot get away with lies. We cannot get away with untruths. Satyam eva jayate. Satyam, the truth, eva, always. In this matter, jayate, it will conquer. Just like dharma will always conquer. And so this is also so important because it gives us a lot of profound relative shanti, relative peace. And it helps us to get out of the sense of injustice. that there's injustice in this world. There is no injustice in this world. And it also helps you to get out of the sense of guilt. That's a big one. So let's go to the Sanskrit mantra. This one is a little bit a longer one. And the other ones that are coming with the other steps, they are not as long. This is like more or less the longest one, but day 3. So we buckle up a little bit. And again, like we can then always say it in English or in your mother tongue, you translate it. This is the mantra in Sanskrit. So I chant it and then you can repeat after me. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadye Saraswati, Karamule sthita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. So not all the diacritical marks are here. The diacritical marks are this long line and dots, but I'll tell you where some of them are missing. And so we'll learn it now, and then I'll tell you the translation. It's very, very, very beautiful. So you can repeat after me. Sama griva shira shariraha. Sama means equal, spine, griva, the head, in one line. Sama griva shira shariraha. Like so, the head, the neck, and the body is in one line. Relaxed shoulders. Vyagri mukham, tiger mouse. Right? Sanskrit is a phonetical language, so we get to use our beautiful jaw, open our throat, and when you open our throat, it opens our heart, our belly, our genitals. We have full trauma release and nervous system regulation as you chant. And pranayama, you're cleaning your whole body-mind temple. So many benefits with Sanskrit and Vedic chanting and chanting in general. So, karagre, karagre, karagre. So you see kara on the second a, there's a line on top. That means it's a dirgha a. Dirgha means long. So the first a is a hrasva a, it's a short a. The second a is a long a. So when there's a line on top, you open your jaw. I see the difference between or ah. You can say ah, or ah, ah. And when you open here, it opens the jaw, it opens your genital, it opens the belly, ah. It opens the heart, releasing resistance. We open ourselves to grace, to the universe. Karagre, karagre. And then the A is always long, even though it has no line on top. Karagre, karagre, vasate, vasate, vasate. So sa is always strong. Sa, sha, sha. They're called sibilants. They're mahaprana, means big breath, and you have a puff in your solar plexus. And A, well, A is in Sanskrit A, but in English is E. The E is A. Vasate, vasate, vasate. Karagre vasate, karagre vasate, karagre vasate, karagre vasate. Then the next word. Lakshmi, Lakshmi. And so there is a dot underneath the S. We don't see it right now, but it's there. So when there's a dot underneath, you roll the tongue back, and the bottom of the tongue touches the dome of the palate. Sha, sha. And it's a sibilant, so it's aspirate, mahaprana, big breath. Lakshmi, Lakshmi, Lakshmi. And so the ha also has a dot underneath, and when the ha has a dot underneath, the e gets repeated after. Lakshmi, Lakshmi. Karagre vasate Lakshmi. Karagre vasate Lakshmi. And so now, because we are breaking it up, the Lakshmi Hi, we say Lakshmi Hi. But then when we chant with Karamadhye, the next word, there's a rule, it's called the Sandhi rule, that when the Ha is followed by a Ka, then the Ha also becomes a different sound. It becomes a Ha sound. Deep breath. Like sometimes we can feel overwhelmed. And just feel the overwhelmedness. Yeah. We're doing this out of fullness, because we are full and complete here and now, out of joy, out of the love of refinement, and for the love of truth. So, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. So now I'm not repeating the E, because then I'm going to continue with the next word. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. And I'm exaggerating, so I invite you to also exaggerate so that it really goes into your mouth. It's like a muscle memory. And then your muscles remember the proper pronunciation. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. 2 more times. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. And then listen. Karamadhye Saraswati. First word. Karamadhye. And you repeat 3 times. Karamadhye. 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 So here we emphasize the da. The da and the ha is what we call an aspirant. So it has a puff, a da, 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 da. It's like a bell. It's like a damaru, the drum. Da, da, da. It's very beautiful what happens. It's like this bouncing, you know, like when you bounce to the heart. What's it called? Tapping. Like when you do tapping, EFT is like releasing the tension in the body, regulates the nervous system. So Sanskrit also does that. Karamadhye, Karamadhye. And then A, which is E in English, is always long. Karamadhye, 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 Karamadhye. And then Saraswati, 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 Saraswati. And so you hear me saying Saraswati. The sa is strong. Sa, sa, sa. Like an s. Also has these sa releases. S. We release any unnecessary blockages, and also invokes the creative force. Kundalini. Right? Saraswati, the snake. So Saraswati. And then E, you see the line on top? It makes it long E. Saraswati. Karamadhye Saraswati. Karamadhye Saraswati. So now from the beginning. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karamadhye Saraswati. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karamadhye Saraswati. 2 more times. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karamadhye Saraswati. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karamadhye Saraswati. And then the next part. Karamule Sthita Gauri. So we break it up. Karamule, 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 Karamule. So U has a long line on top, makes it dirgha, long vowel. U, E in English is always long. Karamule, Karamule, Karamule. And then Sthita, Sthita, Sa, strong. Ta, strong. TH. The ha always makes it strong breath. Sthita, and long ah. Sthita, open your jaw. Sthita, opens the womb, opens the genitals. Sthita. And then Gauri, Gauri, Gauri. Karamu, then it's the with the melody. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule Sthita Gauri, Karamule Sthita Gauri. 3 more times. Karamule Sthita Gauri, Karamule Sthita Gauri, Karamule Sthita Gauri. And then last part, Prabhate Karadarshanam, Prabhate Karadarshanam. We break it up. Prabhate, Prabhate, Bha, aspirate, Bha, Bha, Bha. Another massage for the heart. Another drum. Prabhate, A is long, line on top, A is long. Prabhate, Kara, Darshanam. And there on the S, there's supposed to be a line on top, like a roof, a line on top like that. So Kara Darshanam, Kara Darshanam. Prabhate, Kara Darshanam, Prabhate, Kara Darshanam, Prabhate, Kara Darshanam. You're amazing. You're all here with me. We rock this. We're amazing. Doing really well. Remember, like, most important is the attitude, the bhava, the gesture. You look at your hand. We remember, like, the action. I have been given another day to live. I can breathe, and I am a contributor. So how can I contribute to this world? We all have skills. We all are love. And what can I do out of the love that I am? I do it with my hands, like it's an offering, and the result is given by the universe, exactly what I need in order to grow. That's the attitude. If you think of that, it's enough, step 3. Okay? It's completely enough, just thinking of the meaning. And then, if you feel inspired to learn this in Sanskrit, that's wonderful, it's amazing. And then you can look at your hands, and as you look at your hands, you chant. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule Sthita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. So that's what you chant. You can chant out loud. You can chant it silently. Out loud is like a big statement to the universe. And so what is the meaning? So the meaning, kara means the hand, darshana means to look. I look very well in the morning. The prabhate, bha is to shine. Prabha, very well. Like in the morning, everything shines very well. Like the sun is out and everything is lit up. So that which shines very well, I look. And I look at my hand and I see Lakshmi. Who is Lakshmi? The goddess of prosperity, the goddess of abundance. I look at vasate means at the tip. At the tip of my fingers, there sits Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity and abundance. I just say now the meaning and then I go a little bit into the unfoldment. So at the tip of my finger sits Lakshmi Devi, the goddess, they who shine, who are prosperity, who are abundance, who is the infinite wealth. Kara Madhye, in the middle of my hand, Madhye, in the middle of my hand, Saraswati. Who is Saraswati? She is the goddess of knowledge. Saharasavati, she who is with all flavors. She, Sara, is the essence of all beings. She sits at the middle of my hand, at the palm. And then Karamule, Sthita Gauri, at the root, at the bottom, here. Sthita Gauri. Who is Gauri? Parvati, the daughter of the mountain. Shakti Devi, the destructive force. Parvati, Durga. So she sits here at the bottom, at the root of my hand. So we superimpose Durga, Parvati here. We superimpose Saraswati in the middle here. And we superimpose Lakshmi on my fingers. And so you are reaching out in this world, contributing with the grace of Parvati, Saraswati, Lakshmi, Devi. So, what does it mean? So basically, I have here another slide here. So on the tip of my hand dwells the goddess of prosperity. In the middle of my hand dwells the goddess of knowledge. On the base of my hand dwells the goddess who is the great mother, Parvati. It's also known as the sacred trinity. We have the equivalent for the masculine, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So you can also think of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva if you want. And remember, they are all genders and free from gender. So Durga or Parvati, like the great mother, she sits at the base. So basically, like the mother is the one who gives. Like she nurtures. A mother can never not be the mother of a child. Like the mother is not a role that you do just a few hours a day, especially when they're small. Your mother is a 24/7 job. It's the most sacred duty. Like, there's no greater, really, opportunity to really be God or goddess-like than when you're a mother. Like, mother. Because you're a child. You cannot think of anything else. And you only want the best for your child. You only want them to be happy. You only want the best for your child. No matter what they do, you will always love them. No matter what they do, you'll always protect them. At least a healthy, functional mother, and even a dysfunctional mother, that's what she wants. Right? Even if she may be not capable of doing that, or even saying it, but that's what she wants. She wants her child to be happy. She's so worried, right? And not concerned, like really worried and anxious that anything would happen to her child. What she really wants is the child to be well, to be happy. And so the Parvati, like Parvati, the great mother, she is that representing that infallible mother, that mother that cannot fail and will not fail, that mother would always be there no matter what. And so Parvati is like the role model of all mothers. She's the mother of Ganesha and Subramanyam, and she is there for their children in how that we can also read, like you can read those stories and get inspired of the mother role, how Parvati handles the mother role. Right? So the mother role, like you are Ishvara, you are God, goddess as a mother to the child. Who is your first God, goddess? Your mom and your dad, right? So, and then what is so hurtful is that, and scary, is that we see that our mom and dad, their action fail, and they cannot always be there for us. So then we start to lose trust in God, in mom and dad. And so our whole life we're basically seeking again that God and goddess, that mother and father, so that we can trust again. And so we get to understand that mom and dad as a human being, they do the best they can, but their actions are fallible. So I have the goddess or the god that represents the infallible mother and father that cannot fail and will not fail, and that's Parvati. So I superimpose Parvati there, and so why do I do that? Because I want that all my actions come from the great mother, right? So that I become the mother to the universe. So you become the mother in and of the universe. Like I don't have children myself, like physical children, but I have a lot of inner children. Somebody asked me, do you have children? And then I like schmunzle, I say, yes, I have a lot of inner children. And I've had, my inner child was very, very strong for many, many years. Now she's grown up, healthy. We have the most beautiful relationship. But I really took care of her. And I have so many students. They're a little bit like my children. And so I consider myself like a mother in and of the universe. And so I have Parvati as the great mother as an example. And for me, Parvati is my teacher, Radha Devi. And Swamiji is like the father, a great healthy role model, that what I have been given is that unconditional love and support and celebration of everything that I am. I have had the most profound blessing to experience this 101, and so that's why I can also pass that on. It's very rare to find, but it exists. Right? It truly exists, that unconditional love. And so Parvati, like, is that symbol, that archetype that represents that. And so we admire that, and so we ask, may all my actions come from like Parvati. Like, may all my actions come like as if I am the great mother, and all I want is the best for everyone. I want the best, and I want you to have as much wealth. I want me to have as much wealth so that we can share the wealth. Okay? And so then let's now go to the next. There's so much more to be said, but we stay here now. So then Saraswati Devi, she sits on the middle of my hand. Who is Saraswati? The goddess of knowledge. So I want like that everything comes from knowledge, from dharma, like from understanding that really whatever I do, it's because of the grace of Saraswati. She's the goddess of knowledge. She has given me the skills. She has given me the knowledge. It's not my knowledge. I'm not the author of anything. I haven't invented anything, truly. Like, if you would really have invented something, then you would be the sole inventor. But for you to invent something or discover something, there were 100,000 beings before you that helped you to get there where you are, including all the other authors and scientists. Right? There were so many other beings that helped them to find what they found. And so Saraswati, like the goddess of knowledge, is she who has blessed us with our skills, with our vibhutis, with our talents. And so we're honoring her, and we offer our reverence, and so that whatever I contribute, it's with this acknowledgement that it's given to me, and I share in reverence and gratitude with what was given to me, okay? Without fear of, with this sense of, I don't know enough, I'm not good enough, who am I? And this imposter syndrome. No, you've been given skills and talents, and that is to be shared. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm not here to compete. Right? I'm here to contribute to the sacred beauty of this life. And then the last one is Lakshmi Devi. She sits at the fingertips. She's the goddess of prosperity, abundance. And so may everything flourish. May everything be like a flower that blooms. And so it's prosperous. It gives abundance, wealth, richness, prosperity. So that my action create wealth and prosperity for me, for you, for all of us. So how beautiful is that? Right? So we wake up in the morning, we look at our hands. So here, it's very simple, the mudra. You just open your hand and you look at it. In your own mother tongue or in English. Here I invoke the Great Mother. She who is unconditional love at the base of my hand. So all my actions come from love. I invoke Saraswati with the grace of knowledge that I can contribute and give back the infinite grace that was given to me. I can share my songs, I can share my poetry, I can share my cooking, I can share my counting, that I can count is the grace of Saraswati, that I can work in the garden, Saraswati. And may everything I do, may it flower, may it bloom, may it blossom, may there be richness and wealth for all beings. So that can be what you can say or think as in English form or translated, or then you can chant the mantra. Karagre vasat karagre. I'm sharing here. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule sthita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. 2 more times. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule sthita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule sthita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Om Shanti Shanti. Om. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Wow. Incredible. We did this. Again, I will post the recording with the post. Please let me know in the chat how has this been for you. Also, then in the comments share when I post it how it is to practice this mantra, your takeaways, any insights. Om, Monica, Tisha says amazing and beautiful. Ulrika's hearts, so nourishing, beautiful. Thank you for being here with me. You're my muses, my inspiration, and may this bless our life in every possible way. And let this seed sprout in your heart. Theo, always a blessing to hear your unfoldment. Erle says, Grace, what a gift this is. Thank you, Katarina. Thank you, Ira. So nice you're here. Christine, always so beautiful. Love you. Beautiful. Okay, so have a wonderful evening, day, morning, wherever you are. Erin says, so beautiful. Feels so different to touch, to make, to offer, to receive. Yes, isn't it? Right? To really have that moment in the morning. So, Anando Ham, fullness I am. Yoga Kshema iti prana pana yoho, acknowledging the breath. And then the third step, acknowledging our actions. These are the 3 steps of the 36 steps of Ritualize Your Life challenge. Amazing. Let's go and celebrate. If you share in your stories or make a post or something, please tag me. That I always love to hear and see you. And also, if you want to share and invite your friends and community, that would mean a lot to me. Thank you, and see you tomorrow if we wake up same time for step 4.